Good evening, Judge Begay. My name is Sharon Haynes, and I'm a retired attorney and a PC in Legislative District 2. And I would like to thank you for agreeing to participate in our Zoom interviews. The purpose of this forum is for voters to get to know the candidates for Moon Valley Justice of the Peace. And as we'd explained, you will have 3 minutes to answer each of the questions. And if you go over the 3 minutes at about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, you will be muted even if you're not done speaking. So before we begin the questions, we'd like to give you an opportunity to take 3 minutes to introduce yourself to the voters in Moon Valley.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Judge Begay. I'm Deborah Ann Begay. I'm the incumbent. I'm running for re-election for the Moon Valley Justice of the Peace position. I made history in 2020 by being the first Native American elected to the Maricopa Justice Courts. Don't ask me why it took so long to get a Native American into the courts when Arizona has 22 tribes, but it did, so that's my distinction. I was elected, I'm also a single parent of 3. I identify as a Two-Spirit, so that makes me also unique. So hopefully we'll carry that forward in my re-election. I'm a graduate of ASU College of Law. I did my undergraduate at UC Berkeley. At law school, I majored in federal Indian law. At Berkeley, I majored in Native American history. I've been a member of the community for over 5 years. And when I say a member of the community, I mean I've been involved. I know a lot of community members. I've spent time with them. I can call several of you my friends. And I was asked to be Justice of the Peace because my character, my personality, somebody felt that it was a good match. Otherwise, I was previously working at the Department of Education as a tribal policy liaison.
Thank you. So for the first question, we would like for you to please describe the duties and responsibilities of a Justice of the Peace as you would explain it to a voter.
All right. The Justice of the Peace, the Justice Courts are the first contact. A lot of our community, most of our community will only have that association with the courts. These are courts that cover evictions. We cover injunctions against harassment. We cover orders of protection. We cover the criminal calendar, such as DUIs, traffic speeding tickets, not having your license, not having insurance, all those citations we cover in the Justice Court. We also cover small claims, anything under $10,000 you can bring into the Justice Court. If it's over $10,000, then it goes up to Superior Court. And we also cover just basically the management of fines and let's see what else do we do. That's all that comes to mind right at this minute.
Okay, thank you. And I know you are the incumbent and you've touched on this a little bit in your introduction, but what experience do you have that is relevant to the position of Justice of the Peace?
Well, like I said, I have my law degree, and the justice courts are the law is a complex issue. And when you do evictions, there's statutes that the tenant could use, there's statute that the landlord can use. And if you get those wrong and award the, the wrong party, then that will affect not just the tenant, it'll affect their family, which it'll also affect the community. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again?
The question is, what experience do you have that is relevant to the position of Justice of the Peace?
Okay, so I have my law degree. I have, after law school, I worked for the Department of Justice for the Navajo Nation, practiced law there for several years. I was the director of the Homeless Legal Assistance Project when I was in law school. So it kind of gave me an idea of what's happening in the community, what avenues are available for people that can't afford rent and need some financial assistance. I mentored a newly elected justice of the peace, so I taught them basically everything that I was taught so they could enter into the bench. I'm a 2016 Emerge graduate, so I learned how to run for office, for public office as a Democrat. I am a graduate of the Indigenous Leadership Academy, and what that was, it was a whole bunch of Indigenous community leaders learning how to speak for the community, learning how to speak for the courts, learning how to speak for the staff. I'm an 18-year veteran of the Navy. That gives me experience in the sense that I'm able to work with different coalitions of people. I'm able to look at different sets of problems, and I have a quick response to what happens. I'm able to gain consensus among a diverse group of people. That's been why I've been asked to do certain jobs such as tribal liaison. That was something I did working with the Navy, and it's also something that I do on a daily basis working in the Justice Court.
Okay, thank you. So for the third question, we would like you to describe an ethical dilemma that you encountered and explain how you resolved it.
An ethical dilemma that I encountered was, and this job specifically was, and it was an addiction case. I feel a lot of compassion for people that aren't able to pay their rent, and I feel like there's a lot of societal reasons for why people get in situations like that. And so a case came before me that I really, really wanted the tenant to win, and I was trying to find a way, and I knew that, and I felt that that's what I was doing, and it put me in a bind because legally, there wasn't a way for the ruling should have been for the landlord, and according to statutory law and according to the circumstances and what both parties did, the tenant received plenty of notices and didn't respond to them on time, and there wasn't really any time left beyond the eviction to kind of help the tenant. So that was an ethical dilemma to me because I really was caught between a rock and a hard place. I wanted to rule for the tenant, but legally that I couldn't rule for the tenant. And so I ended up ruling for the landlord. And it taught me a lesson as far as, knowing the law, the intricacies of it, because I had to take that case under advisement and I had to look up the statutes and I had to kind of look at other case law to see if there was any room for me to move. And unfortunately, there wasn't.
All right. So now we'd like to give you an opportunity in 3 minutes for some closing comments and tell the voters why they should vote for you.
All right. Why you should vote for me is the only reason why I ran for office was because I felt called to do it. It's not an easy job. It's heartbreaking. In fact, having to be responsible for the disposition of certain people's lives and what happens, you take that home every day. And so my self-care is very principled. And so I think you could trust me as a judge. I believe that my private life is the same as my public life. There's no difference in how you see how I live. I think that the justice of peace involves an unusually deep commitment to mastering the logic and the complexities of the law, as well as the responsibility of the position. And like I said, I take each case to heart. I look and I read the law and I try to, weigh what's best, what is, what we say justice for all. And I believe that's what a justice should do. And I believe that a justice has a certain responsibility in the community to maintain the highest standards of decorum, that you want people to be proud of you as a judge. You want people to know that I'm your judge. And as far as I'm concerned, these last 4 years, I have gained a huge number of followership, and people come into my court and they're proud that a Native American is in the court as well as a person of my character.
Well, thank you. So this concludes our interview. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Legislative District 2 for your service as Justice of the Peace, and thank you for running for re-election and for participating in the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.